It's a Black membership-led organization that is working to build racial justice, social and economic justice through grassroots organizing and community building. So that's a lot of big words. Grassroots organizing, meaning one-to-one, one person at a time, one conversation at a time, community building, bringing us all together in a common goal and a common vision, right? Am I loud enough? Is that loud?
Maybe a little bit more.
Okay. and I also want to talk about kind of how we started. So in the fall of 2009, we started very, very small. Two organizers by the name of Shar and Region basically went out to community just to hear about what are some of the issues that the Black community is facing. Instead of us saying, we already know what's going on in the community, we know the problems, we have the solutions, we're going to do this. It's like, no, we actually went out and listened to folks. So we did a lot of surveying, thousands of people later, many listening sessions later. What came out of were these discussions around what are the issues and what are some solutions. So definitely these community sessions and outreach, when we were doing outreach, was designed to do like relationship building, to bring people together and to figure out how can we come together and talk about the issues and come together and also find some solutions to these different unique problems and issues. So some of the main issues that came out of the outreach and the listening sessions were, number one, people said education, that we need to have more education in the community, we need to get more degrees and graduate high school, go to college. Another issue people talked about was violence, Black on Black violence, just a lot of police brutality in the community. So that was another big one. And the third one was joblessness and lack of employment. So after we talked to people, we're like, okay, we want to find some solutions to these issues in a real way, but from the community and not from other outside organizations, or when we weren't trying to include the police or the Oakland Unified School District or this organization or that one. We just thought, okay, community, let's come together and figure out how we can move forward. And so with that in mind, making people at the center and putting all of our energy and resources in the center, for the first 2 years was a lot of relationship building. So after we did our listening sessions and we were looking at the solutions, we thought, okay, well, let's have some fun. So we did we had a community, what's it called? We've had Friends and Family Barbecue, was a big one. We do a lot of political education, so where we had events where we did Black political movie night, with some other events. We did, we had a book club where one of our books that was highlighted was Michelle Alexander's The New Jim Crow, and making connections to the criminalization of Black and brown youth, and them getting into the prison school pipeline, the pipeline, school to prison pipeline, and how that affects our communities and stuff like that. So that was something. Also another kind of community building event that we did, Soulful Sunday, and that was a place where we came together and we kind of enjoyed some of our cultural things like spoken word and lots of just connecting with one another and fundraising for our organization. So it's also important because we're very grassroots, so we have ways to bring in the money, which is the Soulful Sunday. And then so after first few years of really building our membership and bringing people together and talking about what the issues are, we decided that it's time to move forward and tackle this with a campaign. So does anyone know what a campaign is?
Organizing campaign?
Like what an organizing campaign is?
Can
someone just maybe describe?
Trying to argue your point like in an organized way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So it's like arguing your point in an organized way. So it's a plan. So it's a plan of action the end goal is to make systematic change through winning, right? So it's like there's a series of tactics and different things that we would do in order to achieve our plan, around this. So we started a campaign that actually came out of a tragic consequence. Raheem Brown was murdered at Skyline High School through, it was a school police officer, Sergeant Batt. And so after his murder, there was a lot of outcry, definitely from his mom and other community groups around what justice is happening. This is horrible. It was brought to the school board, and the school board basically did nothing. And so our organization and members, we thought this is something we need to do. We need to move forward. This is affecting our youth, this is affecting education, jobs, and so we felt like this is a way to kind of start something, and so that was the launching of our campaign. So our campaign started in 2010, at the end of the year, fall, right?
October 2011.
October 2011.
October 2011.
This is Jasmine, by the way. She is
Hi,
an
Jasmine.
organizer for the Black Organizing Project.
Yeah.
She's done great work, and she came here to support us in this workshop. So we're very happy
Part of
to
the
have her.
membership development principles of the Black Organizing Project.
Supporting one another.
Supporting each other.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
That's all right. I want to make sure that I hit everything.
Grace can have a seat if you
Yeah,
like.
please have a seat. Yeah, don't stand in the back. So here it is right here. She looked like. All right. So we started this campaign. It's called BOSS, Bettering Our School Systems. And the end goal for that is basically to put more money into education and less money into school police, and also finding alternatives to school police and changing some of these policies that OUSD has that criminalizes black and brown youth. And I don't think, in some ways, I'm not saying that they're the devil or anything like that. I don't think it's intentional, but what's happening is over decades, it's actually been hurting our youth at disproportionate numbers and pushing them into the criminal justice system, even though the community, a lot of people say, oh yeah, more police, that's going to help us. But in reality, what we find out is it doesn't help us. It doesn't help our schools be safer. It doesn't help our youth stay in school. Actually, it pushes them out. So we are actually also part of a national campaign, Dignity in Schools Coalition, and they are doing a lot of work around, and we're joining with them, around fighting policies that promote zero tolerance. Does anyone know what zero tolerance is in schools? It's kind of, so zero tolerance is something where youth, so for instance, like if I'm 16, I'm in school, I miss school a lot, I can get suspended. I'm something called willful defiance. If I give attitude to a teacher, I can get suspended. If I'm out of dress code, I can get suspended. So very, very harsh consequences for something kind of not even that serious. So
and for a lot of times, I'll just add, for a lot of times it's cultural differences, like teachers that don't really can't fully understand where the students are coming from, and so we also think it's really important that there's cultural sensitivity trainings, and that the teachers and that the people who interact with our students. At this point, there's police in the schools, but they don't have any sort of cultural training or any sort of understanding or real knowledge or connection to the children that come out of our community, and so that presents a problem in itself.
Yeah, exactly. So we're part of this national coalition that's creating policy to promote students staying in school and not being marginalized for punitive stupid things. So just changing the education code in California is one of the main things that's happening right now. And we're on this state policy team, and so that's very important, and our local stuff. So something that was very, very exciting for us last year, we were able to pass a complaint policy in June, and so the complaint policy now is still getting out there. We're working with OUSD School Board and General Counsel and Justin Williams, who's the Chief of Police, now to make sure that it is available and access to everybody. But the complaint policy actually is a place where students, parents, teachers, anyone in the community can actually report if a police officer is doing something they shouldn't be doing, disrespecting, abusing a student, hurting them or roughing them up or something like that. And it can be anonymous, or it cannot be anonymous. So you could get it, at the school site. It's supposed to be at the school site. It's like a form. So Jasmine, she can pass it around. But it's pretty, so we developed. Oh, you heard about this? Oh, okay.
Let's say it'll be safer for the community to go to this right here and complain instead of going straight to the police. Because what the police would do, they'll just look out the complaint and just throw it away. And if we go to this as a community, one complains, it's going to be stronger.
Yeah, exactly. And part of the complaint policy, so there's the actual complaint policy itself, and then there's what we require of the OUS, of the school board, is to actually they have to show us that they're doing it, right? That it's being implemented. So they're supposed to have reports every couple months at the school board meetings to tell us how many people have either been arrested, have there been any complaints, what's going on with that, like more in detail. So,
Sure, definitely. And also give you a copy of the
oh, how many?
before that it was